This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
I'm Roby Brock. Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. It's Tuesday, November 29th. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories of the day. The U.S. economy surprisingly picked up momentum in the third quarter as consumer and government spending improved and other key sectors of private industry improved just ahead of the fall elections. That's according to the second estimate released today by the Bureau of Economic Analysis. The quarterly GDP report, which is the second of three estimates by the Department of Commerce, was 0.3 of a percentage point above the first third quarter GDP estimate of 2.9% in late October, and it was a marked improvement over tepid growth of only 1.4% in the third quarter of 2015. The death of Fidel Castro represents a moment that needs to be seized, Governor Asa Hutchinson said. The governor, who has traveled to Cuba, said a rethinking of the rigid 50-year policy towards the island nation offers an opportunity to sell Arkansas's agricultural products and an opportunity for the Cuban people to experience more freedom, leading to better relationships between the U.S. and Cuba. Read more of Hutchinson's comments and those of other elected officials at talkbusiness.net. Officials with the Associated General Contractors of America visited Arkansas today to push for a federal civil works program under President-elect Donald Trump that would invest over $1 trillion in the nation's aging infrastructure and bring more construction jobs to Arkansas and the nation. The contractors group said the number of jobs in the construction, mining, and logging sectors in Arkansas has declined by 3%, or 1,700 workers in the last year. But a civil works program could reverse that trend. And those are your top stories for today. You can keep up with all of our headlines and top stories at our website at talkbusiness.net. Still to come, who are the favorite mentors of business icons Bob Johnson, Mac McLarty, and Franklin McLarty? Find out when we come back.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
Arkansas's most abundant natural resource provides the core asset for Deltic Timber Corporation. In addition to the sustainable yield stewardship of its well-stocked timberlands, Deltic adds value by integrating its efficient wood products manufacturing facilities, as well as through planned development of commercial and residential real estate. Deltic Timber Corporation, creating value for a growing Arkansas.
Well, last week, KATV's Chris May sat down for a roundtable discussion with three legends of business. Bob Johnson, founder of BET and other billion-dollar endeavors, Mac McLarty, and his son, Franklin McLarty. All three were asked, who are your heroes in business?
Who are your heroes in business? Who inspires you?
Well, mine's got to be John Malone.
Yeah.
You know, John put the first $500,000 into BET. Stayed on the board of the company for 20 years, never sold a share. And I could pick up the phone and call him and get advice from him, and that other people would say, wow, you can call John Malone and talk to him. And when he would support me and I would go out to get bank financing or to get new cable operators to carry my programming, the first question they'd ask me is say, who's your partner? And I'd say, John Malone. It was almost, if you could think about like back in the old days, the good housekeeping seal coming down on the deal. It was like, oh, Malone, no problem, sign right here. So yeah, you got, and the guy was, he believed in entrepreneurs. He's a visionary. He not only supported me, he supported John Hendricks, who created Discovery Channel, Ted Turner at Turner Broadcasting. So he's that kind of a visionary and an entrepreneur himself. And so he has to be my business hero.
Franklin, yours might be sitting here for
Well,
all we know.
there's no question, Chris, that both my father and Bob are really been great mentors to me. I've been fortunate to be able to work with both of them and would certainly put them in the hero category. I'd also put a couple of Arkansas bankers in Johnny Allison and George Gleason, and seeing what they've built with Home Bank Shares and Bank of the Ozarks is really remarkable. And so I've had the great benefit of working around some exceptional leaders, both my father and Bob right at the top of the list.
And Mac?
Well, I've been very fortunate and indeed blessed. I would certainly start with my father, that we, as I alluded to earlier, we're certainly standing on his and my grandfather's shoulders, but he was just a wonderful mentor, a colorful character, great salesman, great car guy. But also fortunate in Arkansas, Chris, over the years, you've got deep roots here as well, but Sam Walton, I was very fortunate at a young age to work with Sam, and you can't be around that kind of iconic figure and not have him be an influence. But also Bill Bowen, who was chairman of Commercial National Bank and First Commercial later, that had confidence in me at an early age, and it might not have turned out so well when Bill first asked me to serve on the board. So I've been very fortunate to just have a number of people to truly look up for, not just in business acumen, but also in values and character.
That's BET founder and billionaire Bob Johnson, along with two of his very successful business partners, Mac and Franklin McClarty. You can catch an extended interview with all three men at talkbusiness.net. After the break, 3 numbers from the past few weeks in politics and an update on energy news. We're back right after this.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
I did.
Circuits turn on the lights by making a connection, by closing the loop. At Entergy, we believe our economy is circular too. What you put in comes back. So we invest billions in new infrastructure, which helps attract new industry, which helps create new jobs. We partner with local communities to electrify the economy, and together we power life. Entergy.
Well, in politics, numbers matter. So here are 3 numbers that made a difference in the last week. 3, that's the number of Democrats who have switched to Republican in the Arkansas House. Most recently, Representatives David Hillman and Jeff Wardlaw have moved their party affiliations from D to R. Folks forget that last year, Representative Mike Holcomb also made the transfer. The 3 switches give Republicans 75 in the House. That qualifies as a supermajority. $50 million. That's the amount of money that a government study report says the state of Arkansas could save with potential efficiencies. The Arkansas Policy Foundation points to outsourcing tax collections and altering the National School Lunch Act as 2 of the biggest money-saving moves. 241 to 194. Democrats were expected to pick up double-digit seats in the U.S. House in November, but they only gained 6 seats, leaving Republicans with a 241 to 194 advantage next year. Not satisfied with those results, and from losses in previous years, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi is fending off a challenge from Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio on Wednesday that could shake up Democratic leadership in the House. You can keep up with all of our political coverage each and every day on our website at talkbusiness.net. A quick break. We'll run through the latest news on the energy front. Stick around.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
So much of what Arkansas state employees do goes unnoticed, yet they have a positive impact on our citizens each and every day. The Arkansas State Employees Association recognizes individuals for excellence in the workplace and leadership in their communities. Congratulations to Deanna O'Malley of Texarkana, the Outstanding State Employee of 2016. We'd like to say thank you to all state employees for all of your hard work and dedication.
Time now to check out the latest in energy news as we visit our Entergy microsite at talkbusiness.net. It is brought to you by Entergy, Arkansas. Here are some of the big stories that we've been covering. With a new presidential administration coming into office in January 2017, members of Arkansas's congressional delegation may reintroduce some version of legislation introduced earlier this year to halt one of the nation's largest renewable energy infrastructure projects. It's a project that will cross the entire state of Arkansas from east to west. U.S. Representative Steve Womack, U.S. Senators John Boozman and Tom Cotton's offices all told Talk Business and Politics they were open to revisiting legislation under President-elect Donald Trump to block the $2 billion Plains and Eastern Clean Line project that's expected to begin construction in the second half of 2017. What will a Trump presidency mean for Arkansas's advanced energy economy? Ken Smith, Policy Director for Arkansas Advanced Energy Association, offers his commentary on what he thinks will guide environmental and energy policies in a Trump administration. To some extent, market forces will offer a lot of direction. Read his thoughts in a guest editorial at talkbusiness.net. Finally, former Arkansas Public Service Commissioner Lamar Davis has been named Executive Director of Government and Regulatory Affairs for MISO, the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator. Davis is a native of North Little Rock. He'll serve as MISO's primary liaison in the South region, working with governors and state regulatory and legislative policymakers in the area. Last week, Governor Asa Hutchinson replaced Davis with new Commissioner Kim O'Gwen after Davis resigned for the private sector job. Every day and every week, we're covering the Energy Beat with stories like these. You can stay on top of the news on our website at talkbusiness.net. Just go to the bottom third of our homepage and you'll find our Energy microsite with these headlines and more. That is all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you tomorrow.